Ryan Coogler's Sinners is fiction, but it has deep roots in an unsettling, terrifying, and factual history. Let's compare the real-life people, places, and stories captured in this electrifying film. In Sinners, the Smokestack twins return home to Clarksdale, Mississippi, a real U.S. city, after a wild stint in Chicago to open a juke joint. Smoke and Stack aren't based on real people, but their journey mirrors historical events. Clarksdale was integral to the Great Migration, the largest mass movement of Americans in U.S. history. It was one of the last stops on the Mississippi Delta before Black families boarded trains north, fleeing the terrors of Jim Crow South and pursuing new dreams in cities like New York, Detroit, and Chicago. Clarksdale was known as the Golden Buckle of the Cotton Belt, home to a diverse mix of farm workers, white plantation owners, and immigrant shopkeepers, Lebanese, Jewish, Italian, and Chinese. In Sinners, the Chinese grocers Bo and Grace Chow are inspired by real Chinese American families who operated grocery stores throughout the Mississippi Delta, often serving Black people when white store owners would not. Coogler worked with cultural consultant Dolly Lee to ensure those portrayals reflected the complicated, often overlooked history of Chinese communities of the Delta, families navigating a narrow space between Black and white in the Jim Crow South. In the movie, Smoke is a returned World War II GI, not based on one real man, but based on thousands of Black vets who came home expecting freedom and often found the same old Jim Crow. While Sinners is dramatized, its depiction of the Jim Crow South is disturbingly accurate. We get a glimpse of white-only ticket booths, waiting rooms, restrooms, subtle reminders that segregation wasn't just a formality, it was law. But it lived in the day-to-day life, in train depots, in storefronts. It dictated where you stood, where you worked, and whether your labor would ever truly be your own. When Stack spots a white woman and urgently tells Sammy to lower his eyes and walk away, you can feel the threat of danger through the screen. We're hit with the reality of the historical truth. A glance in the wrong direction could cost a Black man his life.
Chicago ain't Mississippi with tall buildings instead of plantation.
That line was scripted, but it holds real weight. Under Jim Crow, many Black families were trapped in sharecropping and debt peonage, bound to land they didn't own, paid so little they could never get ahead. In Sinners, juke joint patrons are paid in wooden tokens, redeemable only at company stores, a fictional detail that mirrors a very real practice, wage systems designed to keep Black labor circulating within white-owned economies. The character Cornbread's daily quota, the amount of cotton or crops he had to pick, functioned as a tool to determine if he would fall into debt, with the tokens ensuring he remained under the plantation owner's control. The system was, and is, modern-day slavery. Today, we call it prison labor. And then there's the film's central horror, vampires. And sure, they crave blood, but they also crave access. Access to Black spaces, to Black profit, to Black culture. It's a supernatural metaphor for a very earthly pattern. Systems that drained Black labor, extracted Black creativity, and fed on Black ambition, all while denying Black ownership. And the most ambitious, most creative character in the film is who these monsters had their sights on.
Sammy.
Preacher Boy, aka Sammy Moore, played by Canton Miles, is a fictional character, but it could be argued that he is inspired by the real-life bluesman Robert Johnson. Legend has it, he sold his soul at the crossroads for guitar greatness. It's been rumored that Johnson vanished for months and returned with an otherworldly guitar-playing ability. The myth of Robert Johnson has deep ties to Clarksdale, Mississippi, where Sinners takes place. Johnson recorded just 29 songs before his mysterious death in 1938. Yet his influence shaped generations of rock and blues musicians. In Sinners, Sammy mirrors that story. A prodigy from Mississippi, he plays juke joints where his music carries more than rhythm, sometimes summoning the film's supernatural forces, a phenomena that reflects deep historical tension in the 1930s South, where Black churches often deemed blues music as sinful, making this musical genius feel dangerous and even cursed.
You keep dancing with the devil, one day it's gonna follow you home.
Ryan Coogler even casted the legendary guitarist Buddy Guy to play an older version of Sammy in a mid-credits scene. From the Great Migration to Jim Crow, from sharecropping to the blues, Sinners pulls from chapters of American history that were very real and very scary. The real-life vampires wore suits and enforced real laws. They tried to take everything, the labor, the money, and even the music. But the soul of it, that belongs to the Mississippi Delta, and that is real.